Hello, and welcome to a surprise podcast of the Vibrant Truth Night Edition. So, you see the title. This is not going to be a very long podcast. This is not going to be a very involved podcast, which is why I decided to do it around this time because I knew most people wouldn't be around and I could just get what I got to get out, get straight to the point, move on, and get on with my night. So, with that being said, I'm gonna take care of some business first. Uh, Shout outs to the parlor, VVS Blackout, Red Beard, Inked Up Dad. Um, Shout out to my new family, Voodoo Gaming, uh, Nix, and other people that I'm sure I'm forgetting. Trust me, you're in my heart. Appreciate you. Um, Real quick, I do have a sponsor that I'm coming up with now, and I'm doing a partnership with a clothing line called Made to Stand Out. So look out for those details. Yeah. Anyway, get into the podcast. So here we go. You see the title. What do you see as a good man? Now, like I said, this is just views from the mind of me. But yeah, what do you see as a good man? What is considered a good man? Most females say they want a good man. They want a good man. They want a God fearing man. They want a this man. They want a that man. They want certain things in a man that'll make them happy, right? But the one quality that I feel that this man that every female, well, not every female, I'm going to say most females want, the one characteristic that's very, very in common with most of what most women want is passiveness. If a man is passive, if a man is calm, cool, collected in any situation, then that's a good man, right? But at the same time, if a man is blunt, if a man is honest, if a man says what's on his mind, if a man says what he's thinking before thinking about it, then it can't be done. He's not a good man. And he's looked upon differently, right? So here's the thing. Time and time again, females say, why can't I get a man that's like this? Why can't I get a man that's like that? So let's flip the script. Why can't men ever get women that's fully supportive? Why can't men get women that fully understands their thought patterns and their emotions and their feelings? Why can't men desire everything a woman desires and have women jump through hoops to achieve that? These are questions, right? So I really don't care how much people say women have been abused and broken and everything. The same thing women have been through, men have been through. And like I said in my other video, women are not afraid and are allowed to show that they're broken. Men have to endure a lot and keep a smile on their face. Men have to go with biting their tongue in a lot of situations just to save face. It's not because they're scared. It's not because they're a punk. It's not because they're whipped. It's because this is what society has made it out to be. Now, I really don't care if this is an unpopular decision or an unpopular opinion that I have, or people feel like I'm misinformed, and that's fine. Everyone has a right to their opinions. But at the same time, I feel like this, right? When a person, when not, I'm not going to say a person, excuse me, a female can talk and voice and express and share their point of views on any and everything and expect it to be okay. But when a man does it, there's a there's a limit to what a man can say, right? So when a man says certain things to a female, you have a line, right? You have a line that you can't cross as a male, okay? Certain things you can say as a male, and there's certain things you can't say as a male. Now, call that double standard? Yes, very much so. But what is anyone doing to change that? And I know one person can't change the world, one person can't change society, but one person can make a small difference in the effort to start a change. One person can make a difference in opening a few people's eyes and saying, hey, maybe, just maybe, the way we've been thinking about certain things have been wrong, right? Hmm. Excuse me. It's been a long day, but I had to get this off my chest. So, just to reiterate, there will be a podcast on Sunday. It'll be a totally different subject, but I just wanted to do this now while no one was on, while I knew no one would come in my stream. I mean, people probably won't come in my stream on Sunday either, but whatever. Um, the thing about everything is simply this, right? Everyone's gonna have their thoughts. Everyone's gonna have their opinions. Everyone's gonna have their point of views. I'm not here to dispute or disagree with anyone. I'm not here to put anyone's opinions or point of views down. What I'm saying is, females say they want all this in a guy, but they're not being honest. Okay, let's just put that out there right now. They're not being honest because they say they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that. All you got to do is say, I want a guy with a backbone, but I want a guy with a backbone with everyone else. I don't want him to have a full backbone with me. This, they want that. And seriously, that's really what females want. I feel, right? So, in an effort to play devil's advocate for a little bit, okay? What if? What if roles were reversed? Yeah, I know the history of guys cheating on girls all the time and the girls sitting at home thinking they had a good man, but they was That's not what I'm talking about. What if roles were reversed? What if it was men saying, I want a woman like this, I want a woman like that, I want a woman with this, I want a woman with that. But yet, in all actuality, all they're really saying is they want a woman to stay home and cook and clean. Would society let that rock? Would that be okay with women? Would that just go unspoken about and moved on and lived like it's normal? I highly doubt it. But now I see that because females are saying this and saying that and doing this, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a sexist, I'm not a chauvinist, I'm an equal opportunity type person. Okay? I believe what a man can do, a woman can do, right? I believe what a woman can do, a man could do to some degree. But at the same time, here's how it goes, right? No one's going to sit here and say, or no one's going to sit here and be honest and say, yeah, you're right, right? So here's my thing. I don't really particularly see anything changing in the near future. That's not what this video is about. This video is about saying what most people think, right? So you voice your opinion on something or you give your thoughts on something, and that's not very cool. That's not very, I don't know where this is coming from, and you've changed and this, that, and the third. But here's the thing with that, right? If someone says something that strikes a nerve or that you don't like, or you feel right, that it shouldn't be discussed, then why sit here and say, oh, you've changed? That's what you get. Nowadays, you've changed. A lot of people are scared to have conversations with each other, which is fine. That's everyone's prerogative, because I know you're not gonna see eye to eye when you necessarily have a conversation. And I'm not just saying it's women, it's men too in certain situations or whatever. Sometimes as a man, you're passive, but then other times that, and in my opinion, there's two types of passive, right? There's passive where you don't say anything, and then there's passive where you have a little aggression, the passive aggressive type, right? So me, I'm a passive person to an extent. Once I pass that extent, it becomes passive aggressive. Now let me explain why I'm passive, and then I go to passive aggressive. As you can see, I'm not a skinny dude. I'm a big guy, right? So you match a big guy with a very bad temper. That's asking for trouble almost right away, right? So I've developed a process that works for me. I'm passive first when you tick me off. Then when you're not getting a hint that you're ticking me off, I become passive aggressive. Then when passive aggressive doesn't work, then I tell you exactly what I got to tell you. Now, a lot of people will call a man that's blunt and a man that's honest an a-hole or ignorant or whatever name you want to pick to describe that person. But before you judge that person, try to sit down and talk to them and understand. And like I said, I judge people based on how they act, right? I give you the energy you give me. So if I feel you're being passive, I'm going to be passive right back with you. If I feel you're being passive aggressive, then we're going to be on the same level. If you're going to say what you need to say to me, or if you're going to express any type of emotion that you feel you need to express to me, then I'm going to do the same thing to you, whether it's good emotion or bad emotion. I don't treat people differently, I treat people accordingly. That's just the reality of everything. Now, some people will hate that philosophy. Other people will understand that philosophy. Some people be confused with that philosophy. Let me break it down for you. There's a difference in treating everyone differently and treating everyone accordingly. If you give off passive aggressive vibes, I'm going to give you passive aggressive vibes. If you give off passive vibes, I'm going to give you passive vibes. If you give off fake vibes, I can play it right along with you. Probably even better. I treat people based off the vibes I get from them. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's a few people that I keep close in my circle that'll always be close in my circle. Those people know who they are. I never have to question if they're going to question why I'm in their circle based on how I act. Those people know my story. They know what I go through. They know how I cope with things. They know how I get through things. There's a very small, select amount of people that knows when a change is coming just from looking in my eyes. The eyes are not the same. The eyes change first. So when people ask, how does your demeanor and your attitude and the way you think and the way you act and the way you move change so quick? It's simple. I'm not the same person. That's the simplest answer I can give you. I am not the same person. I don't talk the same. I don't act the same. I don't think the same. I don't feel the same. I don't look at things the same way. The normal guy wouldn't do a nighttime podcast. I'm not the normal guy. So a few people has asked, why do you feel the way you feel now about men versus women and women versus men? It's simple. I've always felt like this. Women say they want certain things, but they want the complete opposite. And vice versa. Me, I just want to be happy. What is happiness? Happiness is what you make it, I would presume, right? This is the point of this video. This is why I'm doing this podcast. Everyone has different views on different situations, different things, different times, different places, different moves, whatever you want to call it. And as you're noticing, I'm refraining from cursing because I do not know how my sponsors would take that. So we are trying a different route here. But like I said, people think differently, people move differently, people act differently based on the situations. Me, 98% of the time, what you see is what you get. If I'm withdrawn, if I seem a little bit more blunt and honest, if I seem like nothing you say can hurt my feelings, if I seem unfazed by anything anyone do or say or act, I'm not pretending. So when you see these moves and you see these mannerisms and you see me acting this way, understand that I am not the same guy. And I have transformed into a guy that many people hate, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm cool with that. But understand the guy that you're hating is the guy that's going to tell you the truth and not what you want to hear. The guy that you're hating is the guy that's going to tell you reality versus a fantasy, versus what you want to hear, versus what you think you need to hear. Understand the guy that you're hating has probably been through the shit that you're going through more than once and knows what's going to happen and can tell you exactly how it's going to play out. But this is the guy you hate. And that's fine. Perfectly fine. But everyone needs to realize something. There's going to be people in this world that's going to be brutally honest. That's going to tell you the truth, regardless if it hurts your feelings or not. Me, I try to tell you the truth and hurt your feelings as less as possible. But if that's not going to work, I can tell you the truth and not give two fucks about your feelings. There's many layers to this other guy. There's many layers to the original guy. But this guy, I'm all for it. The good, the bad, the ugly, the painful, I'm all for it. So you gotta ask yourself a question. Is fighting every battle worth fighting? There's a reason why I have in my hand trust and loyalty. There's a reason why I put that on my hand. And I'm gonna break it down for you right now. There's two things we both live by: trust and loyalty. If I can't trust that you're going to accept every bit of me as I am, I don't believe that you will ever be loyal to me. And with that being said, once I have that in my mind, I will not, I will not make the single mistake of thinking that you will have my back in any situation, physically, mentally, or emotionally. So, with that being said, we both have a choice. You can continue on communicating with me, knowing that if shit gets really deep, I'm not going to believe you're going to be there. Or you can walk away and say, well, what's the point? And that's perfectly fine. Like I said before, lots of people have walked away from me. Lots more will walk away from me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother this me. This me believes in a team of me. Born alone, die alone. You ain't gonna get nowhere unless you do it yourself. That's what this me believes. Of course, I have people that I see as family, that I see as friends, that I see as close associates. But what I will not do and never will do and never could do, whether I'm this guy, the other guy, some other guy, a new guy, an old guy, a white guy, a black guy, a purple guy, what I will not, nor will I ever do, is be manipulated. And a few people in recent weeks and months and whatever days tried that little sneaky manipulative stuff. I peeped it. Didn't say nothing about it, but I peeped it. That stuff don't work on me. So if me being the me that I have to be for me does not suit you, then I apologize for that. But you or no one else has to cope with the things that I have to cope with, just like I don't have to cope with the things that you have to cope with. This me is the safest possible way for me to cope with things I'm going through. Because honestly, if I wasn't this me, things would get dangerous very fast, very quick. So this me is the me that needs to be until I feel like the original me is not in danger anymore. So, with that being said, let's get back to what's a good man. Because honestly, I don't know what a good man is anymore. Is a good man a man that goes to work every day, comes home, sits with his kid every night, makes sure his kid is fed and is asleep? Is a good man a man that stays at home all day and play video games? Make sure his dinner is ready for his wife or girlfriend when she comes home? Is a good man a man that just lets any and everyone talk to him any way they want to and does nothing about it? Is a good man. I've ran out of scenarios. What the hell is a good man? It can mean many different things to many different people. But I know the definition of a bad man. Me. For some reason, this me is such an evil bad man, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. I would prefer to be hated for someone I am than liked for someone I'm not. And there'll be a few people that say, well, this is not you, this is not you, this is me. This is me. This is the me that I need to be at the time and present moment. This is me. I've explained this to a few other people, and surprisingly, they got it. They understood it. Not everyone's going to understand it, and that's fine. Not everyone's going to get it, and that's fine. But what people need to realize is simply this. I do what I do to protect others. I do what I do so that way everyone else is happy. Everyone says, I'm worried about you. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm worried. Why? Because I show no emotion now. Because I'm brutally honest. Because nothing anyone says phases me in a negative way. Now you worry. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. But in case of anyone's confused on if I'm sending any type of Morse code or being passive. I kind of like that word, passive. No, I'm not. I'm fine. The sooner people accept that, the faster we can move on. Now, I'm banking on anyone that watches this or anyone that's watching this right now says I have 6 people watching. I guarantee you, out of the 6 people that's watching, at least 3 of them won't talk to me anymore after this video. And that's perfectly fine. It's their prerogative, it's their choice. But of those 3 people that'll probably stop talking to me, eventually 2 of them will come back and say, hey, remember that video you did late at night? Yeah. Well, I went through some stuff and I thought about that video. This isn't new to me. This is what I do. Like I told Mr. Crazy J in the podcast video about fate, I don't speak on things which I don't know. I don't speak on things which I'm not certain about. So when I speak on things, I really hope the people that's watching now and the people who watch this later understand. I do my research. I do my due diligence. I do understand that every action has a reaction. I understand it all. But what people need to understand is sometimes consequences are worth it. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this video like this. This simply puts how I got to where I am now and where I'm going to be soon. So it's like this. A few people heard this before. And if you heard this before, then you should know what's coming in the next couple of weeks. So, when a man's heart is full of deceit, it burns up and it dies, and a dark shadow falls over its soul. From the ashes of once a great man has risen a curse, a wrong that must be righted. I look to the skies for a purveyor to seek good in the evil that has been done to him. This is my good. And with that being said, that ends this video. Sunday, I'll be back. I don't know what the hell the topic's going to be. Might be something happy. Might be something not happy. Might be something real. Might be something fantasy. I don't know. But 1:30. That's when I'll be on. Be there if you can. Watch if you want. If you do, great. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm that guy, Vibrant. And if you was here, you are a truth seeker. Later.